So in our conversation, we've been talking a lot about Chris. Obviously, y'all know we're talking about Chris Stapleton, who is a former member of the SteelDrivers and still a very good friend.
Very good friend.
Yes. I think it's such a cool thing to see you guys supporting each other as you're both really taking off now in your own, SteelDrivers doing their thing, Stapleton doing his solo thing. To see you guys just coming up together and still reaching out and showing love and support. That's really, really special.
Well, Chris is one in a million, and it's been great, and he's getting all the notoriety and all the acclaim and all the awards that he so deserves.
It just seems to be like a really true friendship.
It is.
And I think a lot of times when people who maybe aren't familiar with Nashville or the business, when they think about artists, they always think of competition. And I think it's really, really beautiful when you can say, no, guys, listen to me. We're really friends. And not even just say it, but when audiences can see that.
Oh, well.
That's really special.
Case in point, right after the Grammys, I got home that Wednesday afternoon, I guess. And that night, my husband and I are going to Lowe's to buy light fixtures for our new house.
The glamorous
The glamour, that's right. And so my phone rings, and I look at it, and it says block number, and I'm thinking, the only person that usually calls me with a block number is Buddy Miller. I'm going to answer this.
Oh.
So I say, hello, and he said, Tammy, it's Chris Stapleton. And I said, what are you doing with a block number? I start giving him some crap about it. He goes, oh, Morgan did that, when I started having to do call-in interviews and stuff.
Oh, that's a good point.
Yeah. So we're, laughing about that, and he says, what are you doing? And I said, well, I'm going into Lowe's to buy light fixtures, and he starts dying laughing. He says, we're packing up too. So we're just, laughing and cutting up and carrying on. And he said, well, I got something to ask you. And I said, shoot, what is it? And he said, well, I've got these ramen shows coming up this week. And obviously, hottest ticket in town.
Yeah.
I was well aware. And he said, do you think the guys would be into coming down and sitting in and doing a little mini SteelDriver set?
Mm-hmm.
And I said, I think they would.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, well, I just was thinking, I think the people would like it. It was one of those things. He said, now, do you want me to introduce you guys, or you guys just kind of want to walk on out and make it a surprise? And I said, well, let's just kind of see, what feels right. So I think he did, maybe Daddy Doesn't Pray, real acoustic.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so he was kind of finishing that up, and they were moving some mics around, and I just kind of started walking out on stage. And I'll never forget, it was kind of, the lights were dark, so we started walking out, and you could see the people. It was almost kind of like a wave that went through the crowd as they started realizing who was walking out.
Yeah.
They all started clapping, and then by the end of it, when we were all out there, it was a complete standing
I have
ovation.
goosebumps. Look at that. That's amazing.
It was amazing. It was. So, yeah, he's the real deal. He's the real deal.
And now it's going to be your turn.
Yeah.